everybody, it is Melanie Mitro and Katie Ersta, and we are the hosts of the Make Chic Happen Podcast.
And this podcast is for you, friend. We're going to dive into the skills, mindset, and systems you need to build a successful social media presence, and it supports your business goals.
All right, and I am Melanie Mitro, one of the co-hosts, and I have left my full-time career in early intervention to be a stay-at-home mom, and I'm seriously craving something more.
All right, and I'm Katie. I am a stage 4 cancer survivor. I absolutely love all things storytelling, and I was a teacher who truly just wanted to get the groceries paid for. Never in a million years did I see what would happen with this business.
Oh my gosh, and here we are, 10 years later, and we have built multi-million-dollar businesses from our laptop, from our kitchen tables, basically anywhere that you have Wi-Fi. And the cool part is now we get to teach other people how to do the same.
So just 2 female entrepreneurs who are wives, moms, and we're also besties who want to take you on the journey right alongside us to help you build a business that you love and a life that you desire.
All right, so come on in, check out today's episode.
Well, hey everyone, it is Katie and Melanie with another episode of the Make Chic Happen podcast. And this is a truth bomb episode. So if you're gonna be, I think I should ask permission.
Yes.
I have permission to actually drop a couple truth bombs when it comes to why somebody didn't achieve their goals at the end of the year?
Yeah.
So as you're listening to this, you're one of 2 people. You're like, hey, slay the day. I'm ending the year exactly where I thought I was going to. Or you're like, womp womp. Like, what happened? And you're doing all this reflecting and you're like, maybe I just shouldn't be in the business that I'm in, or it just isn't meant to be. I actually am going to eradicate any of that conversation because that is simply not the truth.
Yeah.
So today we're going to go over a few. I think we have like 6, maybe 7 truth bombs. And this comes from like 9-10 years of experience of doing great with goals, missing some goals, seeing other people achieve goals, watching other people walk away from businesses because they think that it's just not meant for them, when really if we leaned into these truth bombs and actually said, you're right, I think it would change things. So that's where we're going to start today.
And we picked today to air this episode because I know that every business owner out there is starting to sign up for vision board parties, and they're talking about goal setting, and they're getting out the sparkly glitter and the glue sticks and the markers and the magazines, and they're like all geeked about where they're going in 2022. And they've sort of like dismissed what has happened so far in the year. A lot of people do that.
Look back.
Yeah, and they don't want to like get real with it. We don't want to actually have the real talk and actually look at the numbers. And maybe you even go and you start to read lots of books. Like I love the 12-week year. I actually read it every single year at this time because I like to just remind myself what the principles of planning are. So this is a good time to really talk about maybe why you didn't reach the goals that you set for yourself. And this is a really honest conversation.
I feel like you're super polished, and I'm just going to like get into the thick of it because I feel like we just need to be incredibly honest, because if we can be really honest with you and you'll let us be honest with you, I think we'll just change the trajectory of where 2022 is going.
Okay, so the first thing, the very first one, and you can just raise your hand if this is you, but did you wait? Like, did you procrastinate? Did you say in January, I've got all year to hit this goal. I've got all year to achieve that accolade. And so then you like pooped around for the first 6-7 months of the year. And then in September,
pooped around.
You like that?
I liked it.
Thank you.
I was thinking bleeper get off the pot right when you said that. And then I thought of a little emoji that's like, that's all right. Yeah.
You did. Yeah.
All right. So just be honest.
So I'm being honest. Like you waited until September, and then all of a sudden you were like, oh, I think I could hit this goal. Like if I really hustle, I could hit the goal. And so you started, but then it was September and your kids went back to school and maybe business was slow. And then you started to get mad at yourself because, you had just taken off 6 months of the year. And so your momentum wasn't building as fast as you would like. You got a lot of objections. And so you just shut down.
Yeah.
You basically were like, I waited too long. Now it's too late. And then you went into the downward spiral of, I deserve to be further along than I am right now. You say things like, maybe this business just isn't for me. And you know what? I just think I need to reprioritize right now and focus on finding the joy in my business again. Sorry, that really gets my pants in a bunch, like when people do that, because
your gut cheese are all up in a bunch right now.
Because we deflect instead of taking ownership of the fact that you didn't actually do the work over the months, like just consistent effort applied over time. Now you're in a crunch. Now it feels uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You might even feel a little guilty about the work that you didn't do, and so you're deflecting it.
Yeah.
And so I say that with love, but let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
If you actually going into next year said, I'm going to do the work every single month, I guarantee you could reach the goal.
Yeah.
I guarantee that you could do it. So if that is you, that's the first step, is to say, okay, I need to make sure that going into next year, I don't make that same mistake.
All right, let's go into number 2.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to give a little side story, and I hope that you'll see the analogy, but my son Nick plays AA hockey, really great little hockey player, and the other night he was getting ready to play a game, and a bunch of his little friends from school came to watch him. He's 11 years old, and so a lot of the girls were there from his school, and his teacher was there and everything. He played horribly the first period, the second period, and then he got a reset and started really doing an incredible job in the third period. But the truth was, for the first and second period, he got in his own way. And for your business right now, how many times have you done this little hokey pokey sort of game with your business where you've gone a little in and then you've gone, I don't know if this is for me. And then you're like, I think I can do it. And then you're like, I don't think I can do it. And then you hit imposter syndrome when you're actually on a roll. And you kind of create this inertia effect where you're like, I'm good, I'm not, I'm good, I'm not. And you actually do such a stellar job of getting in your own way that you can't actually make the way. Yeah. You actually can't just full steam forward move at a incredible, like fast-paced speed, or even like a regular speed, because you just keep starting and stopping. And I watched that game with my son knowing he can do so much better than this. I know that, but I knew he was nervous. Yeah. And I knew he was worried about what he looked like with his peers. And I knew he kept thinking, what if I screw up? What if I don't do this? What if a goal gets in? What if he plays defense? What if I do? And I could almost watch. I was watching in real time what getting in his way was looking like. Yeah. And if he would have just played his game, he would have done incredible. Yeah. So I want to ask you, where are you getting in your own way? Where are you playing the inertia effect? Where are you playing hokey pokey with your business? Identify it.
Yeah. And then do something about it, right? So you identify it, and then you say, what's going to be the action? If it's investing in business mentors like Katie and I, if it's joining our community, if it's reading a different personal development book, but you have to address the root cause and make the change, right? And now the third one, right? The third reason why you may not have hit your goals is you're surrounding yourself with the wrong people. And it's funny because right now I'm watching this happen. I'm watching people in pods and in Facebook groups, and I'm watching like everybody that's like, oh, I'm just accepting the fact that I'm not going to hit my goals this year. And then they validate why they're not hitting their goals. And then somebody else raises their hand and they're like, me either. And they all start to culminate together. Right? And so I'm like, okay, it's fine. But like, are you letting that be okay? And are you not actually putting yourself in a new circle? Like, do you just keep hanging out with the people who aren't hitting their goals and are validating it? Are you hanging out with the people who are not raising you up and elevating you and cheering for you and telling you to go for it? Or the people that aren't calling you on your BS? So if in January you said, I'm going to be the top 0.01% of the company, and you were like, guys, hold me accountable to it. If your friends don't hold you accountable to that, your business partners don't, you might want to rethink maybe the circle you spend more time in. So you want to surround yourself with people that are like, no, you said that was your goal. Actually, Katie did this to me not too long ago, and it was right in the middle of COVID, and so after kind of everything started opening up again, public speaking just wasn't happening a lot for the two of us. And I've had it on my sticky note on my computer for 2 years. I am a highly sought after keynote speaker. And I took it off there one day. I was like, I just don't think this is in the cards. And I threw it into the garbage can. And I don't know, maybe a couple of months later, Katie came over with a sticky note and she took it out of her planner and she stuck it on my computer. And she was like, you're not giving up on that. That's something you really want to do. And it's on there. It's in her handwriting, and it says, I'm a highly sought after keynote speaker. And you like need people in your corner that are going to be like, no, you said, and I know this is something you want, and we're not going to close that chapter because, and it was like, thank you. Yeah. I mean, there was just a very much like that's the kind of people you need in your corner. They're going to be like, so what are you doing about that? How are you getting yourself to that goal? What are you doing to really make that happen? So you need, thank you for being that person.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for that. I was like, oh, I'm getting a little emotional. It's fine.
Yeah. So you need to surround yourself with those people. It's okay. It's okay if you change your mind and decide you don't want to hit the goal, but somebody just can't let you wallow in it, right?
I love the next tip because I see people do this all the time. Okay. It's like when you try on a pair of jeans and they just don't fit. When you're trying on certain goals and they don't actually work for you. You actually don't really want what you're working towards. And I see this happen all the time where if you are, especially in the direct sales space, where you see somebody who is just looking like they're killing it on social and they're talking about the yacht that they're spending a random Tuesday afternoon in, or they're celebrating the holidays in the tropics and they look so pretty and you're like, I want that. That looks pretty.
I actually do.
And I know you do. I personally do not, but I know you do.
And the tropics for the holidays.
I know. You're like, oh, that looks really good. I'm going to put that on my vision board. But the point is sometimes when you select goals that have no meaning to you, they're going to get really hard to work towards, especially when it gets hard. When it comes down to doing the work. If it's not a goal you really want to work towards, why would you continue to work towards it? And so I want to remind you that setting goals is an intentional practice that aligns to what you actually want in life, which means you have got to take the time to ask yourself, like, what do I actually want? Do I want to have $1 million business? Do I want to get the groceries paid for? Do I want to not fight with my husband over income? Do I want to be working 40, 60 hours a week on my business? Do I want to just maybe put 5 hours a week into my business? You really want to get clear on what you want. And it's like that scene in The Notebook where he's like, what do you want? She's like, it's not that simple. It is that simple. Really actually asking yourself, what do you want? And really saying, what am I willing to do to achieve that goal? Because if it feels out of alignment, you're not going to get there. You're actually not going to achieve it.
I agree. And it's okay for goals to change. Yeah. It's okay to evolve. We spend a lot of time actually asking ourselves, what do we want, right? And does this feel good?
Do you know what scene I'm talking about? When the movie?
I do.
I'm good. I'm glad you know that one.
I do. And I actually just watched The Notebook, not because it's on TV often. It's such a great movie. It sucks me right in. But yeah, I do. And goals do change, but it's also, I mean, we live in a society where we're so connected, so we see other people's goals a lot. Yeah. And so we have to be very careful that we aren't just going after that shiny object, that we are really doing things that make us feel good on the inside.
Right.
Okay, so the next one, right? The next reason why you might not be hitting those year-end goals is...
I feel like we all need to take a deep breath because this one stings.
It does.
I'm ready.
It stings. It's like you didn't actually do the work. You didn't do the work. You might have showed up and you might have clocked hours, but it wasn't the right work. You might have actually spent an exorbitant amount of time on your business, but you didn't spend it on the right things, right? So maybe you spent a ton of time building a new website and, doing all the SEO and getting new headshots and writing all the copy for your website, but then you never marketed yourself. You didn't go out and publish the website and talk to people and invite people to join your products and services. And so you didn't actually do the things that really make the money, right? Or you wanted to build your direct sales team, but you only focused on product sales and you never focused on building a team because it made you uncomfortable, right? It scared you and you were so afraid that you just didn't take action. Or, this is one of the worst is you just didn't get out of bed. The alarm went off and you knew you had an hour to get your business done before you walked into your full-time job, but you kept hitting snooze. And so that hour was gone. And so the opportunity to build the side hustle no longer existed, right? And so every day we're faced with decisions. We're faced with decisions as to whether or not I can sit on the couch and watch 2 hours of Netflix, or I can build this side hustle, right? Or I can, wake up on a Saturday morning a little earlier, or I can stay in my warm, cozy bed. And trust me, there were many of times where I didn't want to do the work, but I wanted the life, right? I wanted the change. I wanted the income or the freedom, right? Or the flexibility so much more than I wanted to sleep in that moment. Because when you create the business, you can then you have the freedom to do what you want, when you want, and you can call the shots. So it's like you got to do the work, and it's got to be the right work. You don't just get a participation trophy, right? You know, and it doesn't matter how many hours you work on your business, you still got to do the right things.
Yeah. So the next one, I'm kind of going to go rogue on this one a little bit. And I really think that this one comes down to clarity. So everything that Melanie said with doing the work is critical. Yeah. But even as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking about how many times we have mentored people who are like, I don't actually know what to do. And so the other one that I want to be aware of is clarifying the action steps that it's going to actually take to get to the goal. So knowing exactly what you have to do as a CEO and business owner to actually achieve the goals. And one of the things that we added to the Make Chic Happen planner last year, and of course is in it this year, is that income producing activity tracker. We have to be honest with ourselves about, am I doing the things? Am I actually doing the right steps? Am I actually taking the right steps to yield results? And so that IPA is really for people who are like, what are the things I need to do today to get to my brighter tomorrow? What are those action steps? So it isn't just about doing the work. It's doing the right work. It's doing the work that is going to yield the results and being accountable to it. When you look at your income producing activity tracker, you're like, I did the work or I didn't do the work. It's very clear. You either did or you didn't. It's a yes or no. And if it is a no, you look at that and you say, so what am I going to do about it? Right. How am I going to show up differently? What am I going to change to actually make sure that the goals are within reach? So really being clear about what it is that you have to do is tip number 6.
I love it. All right. So the final tip, right? The final tip for why maybe you didn't hit your year-end goals is you have a big vision, but you don't have small action. And this is one that leads right into what we're going to talk about afterwards. Is so often we sit on these vision board parties and we dream really, really big. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with dreaming big. I am that kind of person that I think really big, right? And I'm always going to shoot for the stars, and I'm always going to have this like almost unrealistic sort of vision for my life. But I match it, right? I get very clear. It's what I want. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes I write it on the vision board and I go, no, I take it off, right? And it's like, that's not really worth working towards. I don't really want that, which is fine. But
so you allow your vision board to be editable.
Oh, for sure. 100%. Yeah, definitely.
Editable. Edit.
What is it?
I don't know.
Well, I'm surprised.
Editable.
She's the grammar queen. The editing.
That's a different story for another
different
day.
story for a different day. It is, but I do. So you always put on your vision board the things that, like, where do you want your life to go in even 3 to 5 years? You want to have things that you want to accomplish in the next year. But what is really important is that you don't just make this pretty vision board, and stop and just sit it on your counter or by your bathroom mirror. But then you take it one step further and you go, well, how do I get there? What are the small action steps? And we always talk about in terms of mile markers. Like, you take your vision, it's big, it's beautiful, it's grand. You visualize how you're going to feel when you get to that vision. But then you think about your mile markers when you're on the highway. You can't go from mile marker 1 to 100. You have to pass each mile marker. And so those are your action steps. Those are your small wins and your goals along the way. And so maybe you're the kind of person that does the vision board activity every year. It's beautiful. You spend a ton of money and time on it, but you just take no action. You're the person that is like, this is the year I'm going to make it happen. And before you know it, 2 weeks in, the vision board's already tucked underneath of a pile of books or shoved in the closet. And so if you aren't matching your vision with small action, you're just going to keep looking at how far away you are from actually getting there, and you're going to discredit yourself. And instead, if you just say, all right, one foot in front of the other, this is the small action. Every day I wake up, it's small, it's insignificant. Nobody's really noticing the things I'm doing every day, but all of a sudden, people notice. All of a sudden, you've accomplished half of the goal and you're halfway there. That's the key.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like that perfectly leads into the way we're going to teach vision, the way we're going to teach goal setting very differently, and how we're actually inviting you guys to come and do it with us. Yeah. Right?
So December 28th, we are going to be hosting a free vision board goal setting for 2022. It's a party. We're going to enjoy your cocktail. You're going to have some fun. We're going to keep it light. We're going to do our little banter back and forth. But the reason that we're doing it is because we often see people misled and misunderstand how vision boards should actually work. There are so many times where I see people talk about this dream big or just take massive action, and it's not that those things don't matter, but if we aren't getting clear about what we actually need to do to take massive action, we get married to the process of taking massive action, it's going to be a moot point. It's going to be something where we look at it and we go, great, I have this vision board, but why can I not get it done? Why do I struggle when it comes to goal setting? Why do I miss the goals that I set year after year after year? And I guarantee it has something to do with this. Yeah. And so with permission, we would love for you to join us. We want you to join us completely free for a goal setting party, and it is not going to be your standard vision board party. We're going to have a lot of bells and whistles, absolutely, but we're going to revisit the way that we look at vision boarding. Yeah. So if you are free, you can check the show notes. We're going to have more information and details about that party.
We are. And there'll be a really cool worksheet that comes with it too. So when you register, you get the worksheet. You'll get the link to log in. You can bring some friends alongside of you too. It's going to be a great event. Okay, you guys, 7 truth bombs.
We said with love.
We did. All with love. All with love. But we hope that this was such an aha moment for you to really just, as you're reflecting, as you're setting goals, what do you want to do differently? How do you want 2022 to be the year where you make those steps in the right direction, where you're not just stuck, right? Spinning your wheels, feeling like you should be further along. Yeah. You're owning where you want to be, and you're taking action to get there. And you're surrounding yourself with really awesome people. And again, if you need really awesome people to hang out with, you know, we're kind of cool. You can come check us out. You can get on the wait list for the Chic Influencer community because we do open that up, and like wink, wink, it's like coming soon. So make sure you get on that wait list, and we'll drop that in the show notes. All right. If you loved today's episode, share it with people that you know will love it. Also, take a screenshot, tag us over on Instagram, and send us a DM if you ever have ideas for things you would love for Katie and I to talk about. You know, we're here, and we always love creating content that serves you, that makes you a better business owner, and that truly helps you to be a healthy, thriving CEO. All right, we'll see you guys later.
Bye, everyone.
So if you loved today's episode, make sure you head over to wherever you listened to the episode today and leave us a rating and review. And also take a little screenshot and tag us on Chic Influencer. We'll feature you in our stories. Plus, we'd love to get your feedback and hear from our listeners.
Yep. Until next week, let's make chic happen.